sometimes crazy. If you really love your wife, you're not gonna have a bachelor party with strippers. 안녕하세요. 저는 케일럽입니다. 반갑습니다. Yeah, married. This is my feelings about it. Yeah, woo! Yes, I only had a Korean wedding. Yeah, sure, I've been to plenty weddings in America. They're much different. Korean weddings and American weddings are so different. First, traditional Korean weddings are changing a lot these days. The Korean weddings I went to when I first came to Korea were very Korean, and nowadays if I go, they're changing. Korea's changing very fast, so a lot of things are different than before. In America, before a wedding, like, you don't really have gifts. You know that your family is gonna join, so like the gift is each other's family becoming a family. But I think in Korea, traditionally, you give to each other. I don't know well, but I know like sometimes the bride's father gives the groom like a nice watch or something, and there's like a set, necklace, earrings. I'm not sure who gives that to who, but I know that happens. For my instance, we didn't do that. Our wedding was a little like more free. But I know in Korean weddings, there's more gift giving. Korean weddings are more of a show. Like what I heard, kind of a good description is like Korean weddings are so big and so expensive because that's like your family showing off to other families. Like, look what I've achieved. I hope you can achieve this too, kind of. That's what I heard, and it makes sense. In Korea, you have to discuss the housing more, and maybe the parents sometimes help with jeonse. Like, for instance, I had a little help with ours because we were supposed to get better money from the bank, but they didn't, so her parents helped me. So I think they negotiate kind of housing. But usually in America, traditionally, is the husband takes care of the house and the wife does furniture. She's the one who buys, or her family helps with the furniture. And also for paying for the wedding, the bride's family pays for the wedding. Traditionally. Now I think they negotiate a little more, but in America, it's the bride's family that pays. The groom's family, I think, takes care of honeymoons and things like that. I think it's like that. And traditionally in Korea, I think if you're lucky, the parents help a lot with the payment of the wedding, and the guests come and give you money because they know the wedding's expensive, and then the parents take that money and then you get a little leftover. But my instance, we paid for the wedding, so it was kind of just that way. Yeah, in America you have your engagement ring, and then you have your wedding band. So like men only have one ring, but women, like for instance, like, hey, will you marry me? You do this crazy proposal, it's unexpected, you give the ring, and then when you're married, you have this little tiny ring with maybe some diamonds on it that you connect. That shows that you're married. If the woman has one ring, it's like she's engaged, ready to be married. 2 rings is the unity she has. And American proposals are like crazy because they're unexpected. Most people think like, we know we want to get married, so like they're not gonna get turned down. Some people do, but it's like in this amazing park, you have champagne, the sky has so many stars, and you just, will you marry me? But Korea, usually if they do a proposal, it's set up, like they already have the wedding planned and they just go and take pictures. It's for pictures. I did a little bit of Western style, like we knew we were gonna get married. We didn't plan anything or time, but we went on a trip to Jeju, and I kept looking for the time to do it. Jeju was so hot, so like one time I set up the camera, was ready, and it was super sunny, and then I like had it in my pocket, and then my wife was just kind of angry because it was so hot. She was like, I can't take this heat. I was like, oh, this is not the time. So then we went to a waterfall, and it was really nice, and she was happy, so I did it at a waterfall. It was pretty romantic. But I put the camera down on this rock, and it had the waterfall in it, but then I went to propose and I was not on the screen, so the camera is just a waterfall. It didn't catch the proposal. But that was my proposal. I just bought a temporary ring. I gave her, it had moonstone, a different type. And then we shopped for like kind of couple style rings because Koreans use couple style rings. Bridal shower, bachelor party. That is huge in America. That's like, if you're getting married, that's what you're happy about. Bridal shower, you have your girls together and they just pamper each other, like go to spa or give presents. Bachelor party is like for American male, their brains are like, this is the last time I'm going to be single. So they just had this crazy party, but it's usually the day before the wedding, like or kind of the week before the wedding. I didn't really have that. I had just my friends and we just smoked some cigars and hung out. Okay, bridal showers, they go like to a spa, like, and they have the cucumbers on the eyes and then they go and drink wine or something, maybe go out. But the guys, it's like sometimes crazy. If you really love your wife, you're not gonna have a bachelor party with strippers. Koreans stress about the wedding because Korean weddings are so crazy and so much money and so much preparing. That's what Koreans before weddings, they stress. Americans, they just like, all right, we good. Like they don't worry about weddings. Wedding style, Korea's wedding style, you go to the wedding and it's like usually very quick, kind of like robotic. They have like steps. Traditional Korean weddings are like that. There's like, you say stuff, you have a lot of makeup on your face, doom, doom, doom. You go eat, and then the bride and groom have to go talk. It's buffet and it's really fast, and the bride and the groom have to go tell everyone thank you and they don't get to eat. Everyone enjoyed our food, but I don't even know it because at the end, I took a few bites. But American weddings, you go, it's usually in a church and the pastor or whoever's doing it is talking, telling jokes. Kind of like, people are like, this is too long, an hour and a half, and they have a lot of different steps. And then they have after party, the reception, and that's the fun part. Like you go and it's like a party. Like they have food, usually alcohol, a DJ, and everyone just parties together. Like sometimes people skip the wedding and go to the after reception. Oh, gift, they have a wedding, registry where you can go like with this little price gun into like Walmart or some store, and whatever you want, you do it, and people can look at the list and kind of gift it to you. Or like that's kind of like the newer days. Before, people just bring a gift, like just to the wedding, so you have a room with just a bunch of gifts, kind of like Christmas. But in Korea, it's just money. It's like expected, like family pays this much, this just kind of like a wedding. Weddings in Korea are more for show, kind of like a video. This is what you have. In America, weddings turn into this crazy party sometimes. Weddings are more fun, and I feel like they're more true in America. Like there's way more people crying and more emotion. Like in Korea, it's so like step by step. You have to follow these rules. I cried at I did. It was misemanji. It was so dusty, and the misemanji was bad. Before it was that quick wedding and the reception. Now people are having a little more like longer weddings and they're adding steps to it. Sometimes like our reception was kind of Korean. I had tux suit and I did it, and then after we changed into hanbok. So we still did kind of that, but it was more free. We had maybe 3 hours for our wedding or 4 hours, something like that. But I've been to weddings that were really 30 minutes in this big, huge wedding hall. It's like, you have to get out, the next wedding's coming, you know, like just so fast. And you go eat in a cafeteria and it's like 10 different wedding parties. So it's like, this is kind of weird. But nowadays it's more special sometimes, like it's at a location where it's just you. So you can go and just spend time with each other. So today I talked about the differences of Korean weddings and American weddings. I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked it, please leave a like and subscribe. See you later! Woohoo!